Don't look under the internet.
Go better. Faster. Go better. Faster. Stronger. Make it better. Disable streamer mode. Sephiroth.
Sephiroth hunk bees.
I've been so. There's two things I want to bring up. Hi, hello, everyone.
Hi,
This
hello.
is,
Shit, we're
this is
just-
DLUTI.
We're doing it. Okay.
Hi,
yeah.
welcome
Hi.
to Don't Look Under the Internet, an internet
Coldest of
comedy
cold
horror
opens.
podcast, and it's starring Jason,
No, I don't think so.
starring Wapa Moot,
Quiet.
and it's starring me, Michael.
We haven't had a guest.
I'm the guest.
Well, okay.
You know when you have
we
a
haven't had an
show.
important guest in a
You,
long time.
you know when you have a show like Always
Wow,
Sunny where
Alex
it has
Harris
credits
was
to
like-
everyone.
Like 2 months ago. Not
Yeah.
even.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I'm
Anyway,
always
was
the
that
guest.
recent,
Anyway,
wasn't it?
what? Yeah.
You know how like in Always Sunny it shows like the credits, and even now after like almost 20 years it still says and special guest Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess so.
I'm always the special guest. I'm never
I
fully
didn't realize
on.
it says special guest. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like he's on every fucking
It's,
episode.
it says like
He's
special
definitely
guest or like
special.
guest starring. Yeah.
It does not mean he isn't special. That's true.
So there's two things that I want to bring to the table. They're random, but I think it's funny, and I have to talk about them to somebody. First and foremost, I bring up Sephiroth for a reason. Whenever I'm at work and I get an email from an upset client or anything,
Where is this going?
I always get that tone. I like to sing the Sephiroth music in my head because it sets it up like this is a big bad guy, but really it's just someone that is having a very small, minute issue
Some
with their
64-year-old
website.
that-
Yeah, car salesman.
Yeah.
It's just like-
It's not showing the right car.
yeah, and in my head I'm just like Sephiroth.
Hey man, life is only as important as you make it. So that
Exactly.
I hear
Please.
like the fight music from Oblivion.
yeah.
It's like,
Every email reply is like the like when you like hit a guy with the sword in Oblivion.
Yeah.
It's that little like hit music, hit sound. Second thing I want to bring to the table, Amelia, super fond of Cars, the movie, and
Okay.
cars in general.
Okay.
Been watching a bunch of Cars, and it got me
have
thinking.
you shown her the Fast and the Furious yet?
Not
family
yet.
has a
I'm
father.
waiting. I'm waiting on that one until
didn't
she
wait for an
understands "cuh."
No, you didn't have to.
I said forget about it.
You
Cuz.
knew.
Exactly. She has to know what "cuh" is in order to understand, and family and Corona.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking. A lot more people would be super interested in like NASCAR or like car racing in
Oh
general
God.
if they had like WWE style names. Imagine a NASCAR.
that was-
You're
and
saying
imagine
everybody
a
should
NASCAR.
have like a persona.
Yeah, imagine a NASCAR like commentator. Like, oh, here comes number 23. It's Jimmy Shift. I would watch the shit out of that. Dude. And you got like Carl Pedals or something. They all have to be car related.
Pedals.
You got Chuck Transmission or something. I would watch the shit out of that.
Just the names would be enough
David
to change your
Transmission
mind.
Manifold.
There was a guy about 10 years ago named Scott Speed.
Scott Speed.
Scott Sterling.
There's
I
a
would
guy
watch
named
the
Dick Trickle too. That was a long time ago. Though.
Oh,
That was
I
like
remember
30
Dick
years ago.
Trickle. I never watched it, but I
just-
remember the memes.
Maybe that's why NASCAR was so much more popular like 30 years ago, is because
Maybe the
names
there
were
was a bunch of redneck names. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it would be a lot better if there's a guy just named Jimmy Shift
See, I
or
thought you
something.
were gonna say like make the cars sentient and also able to make decisions.
Everyone
That's
gets
where I thought you were going.
all the cars are sentient where they become like Tesla cars where they're self-driving and they crash into the people watching the race. That's the whole bit.
I would unironically watch a self-driving race car
Race?
series.
Yeah.
I
And
think
to
that
see
would be
how that
hilarious.
unfolds.
Yeah.
I would only watch it at like the beginning of the existence of that league.
Yeah, when
because,
it's
you know,
still
after, like-
bad.
yeah, when it, like
Right.
15 years in, they've worked the kinks out. Like
Yeah.
I don't want that shit.
But I want everyone listening to either email us or just reach out to us somehow with your best car pun name for a NASCAR racer, i.e., like your Jimmy shifts or your like Carl gas pedals, things like that. Give me your best car pun name.
Now, you might be thinking that we are going to be talking to you today.
This has nothing to do with
automobiles, or cars, or
well, wait,
something
I have to do.
like
I have to do a thing.
You might be thinking that.
I've got to do a DLUTI. Housekeeping.
Clap above your head.
Because
you're wrong.
I got to pull these up. Shit ass, I'm slacking on my job.
No, you just decided to talk about
cars for a real long time. All right, so we have a couple people I want to give a shout out to. So first things first, we have and again we're gonna play the game. Name? Bad name. Did I do Pack Arena last time? I don't remember if I did or not. Pack Arena.
I don't think so.
Name?
That doesn't sound familiar.
It doesn't.
Counts as like Ocarina, like a Legend of Zelda.
Pack Arena of Time.
The Pack Arena of Time.
All right.
The Pachyderm of Time.
I like it. The Pachyderm of Time.
Yeah.
It's a time elephant.
I'm gonna give it an okay. I like that. Pack Arena.
Since we've taken it so far, yeah, I'm on board. There's so many possibilities.
It's like a 6.5.
Yeah, I'd say 6.5 is a solid number for it.
We have Miss Muse, like MUSE, Miss Muse. I like that. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Just the alliteration.
6.
Solid 4.
It sounds like Miss Muse sounds like a Batman Beyond villain whose power is like reverberation.
Reverberation? Why?
Yeah.
She reverberates.
Yeah. Up
I
next,
don't even know what that actually
we have.
Does that mean she vibrates, or like everything she says echoes a lot?
Like shoots like sound waves that like reverberates things.
So she's basically like Aquaman above water.
Yeah. Still talks to fish, but has a hard time getting to them.
Can't really hear them all that
Yeah.
She can communicate with sea life, but she can't go in the ocean.
What a fucking superpower.
Always longing, but can never.
The forbidden fruit.
Yeah. We have Smelly Sully. There's one. Smelly Sully. I like it.
Smelly.
That's good.
That's good. The alliteration. I'm always a sucker for alliteration. So do that, and you've got at least a point behind your name.
There you go. What about you, Boop?
Smelly Sully.
6.5.
A lot of sixes being thrown from you. All right. You're just never satisfied. We have Bone Cake. I like Bone Cake.
I like that one.
Bone Cake is ready.
Cake is ready.
Sounds like it does sound like a wrestler. Also sounds like a metal band kind of. Bone Cake.
Sounds like a
I
slam
like Bone
band.
Cake. That's a 7.5.
Okay,
Ooh.
good. Oh, moved up one. All right.
Got into some odd numbers there.
We have Pickle Wartooth.
Yep. That
yeah, that's a good one.
8 to
Pickle
9.
Wartooth.
Between it's somewhere in there. That's a great
8.
one.
Yeah. And then we have Nico.
I really like it when people just put silly words together in a meaningless order.
Yeah. Just
like or oh no, I shit my pants.
That's a great one.
or that.
But it still does not top Big Jug Hot Cheese. And my favorite part again about that is it's not a big jug of hot cheese.
Yeah,
just
Big Jug Hot Cheese.
I don't know, Big Jug Hot Cheese. I don't even know if you're still subscribed to us or not, but if you are, hello. We
They
still
were in the
love you.
Discord like last week or the week before.
Hell yeah, Big Jug Hot Cheese. We still love you.
Well,
the last one is Nika, by the way. Nika. Nika.
Like Nike.
That's a repeat, but they resubbed because they were having issues.
Oh, so we should belittle them then.
Yeah.
for having issues with our website.
Fuck you for not understanding our site.
Fuck your IP
No,
address.
welcome back, Nika. Sorry you had problems,
Yeah.
but glad to have you.
It was probably our fault.
Probably most of the time it is. I really should. Since we have so many problems, I should probably learn.
Oh, motherfucker.
That concludes housekeeping. I should probably learn how to fix issues like that, you know? And I'm trying to think.
You might need some experience.
Is there a place I could go to learn? Like a
Institute
college
of some sort.
or an institute of some sort?
No, it sounds like you need some hands-on experience in the field.
You're absolutely right. I
Yeah.
do need hands-on experience in the field. That sentence you said that I stumbled through just now.
Would you say that you would need to study?
I would.
Study. You need an institute. You need a field.
I need a field.
In a field.
We're talking today, if you haven't caught on, about the Institute of Studying Fields. We're talking about the Field Studies Institute. Now,
what the fuck is that?
I came across this bad boy on Instagram.
Oh, you sure did.
And you said that kind of threatening.
No, I'm just going to be your
You
hype
sure
man this
did.
episode. I'm trying to
fuck
bring a new energy.
I will say,
midway
Sometimes
through
I listen back to the
2024, change it
episodes and
up.
I'm like, man, I'm just like mumbling my way through this whole thing. I'm bringing energy this time, man.
Woo! That New Year's resolution for 2025 is kicking in halfway through 2024.
New year, new Matt in August.
Can we just make our own New Year's and just put it in August?
I'm like a Chinese New Year, but for DLUTI.
Yeah, for DLUTI stand.
Honestly, we are our own nation state. We could just.
We did just get that paperwork.
Yeah. Thanks, Obama. That's what Biden did. Biden was like, Biden put in his 2 weeks and was like, y'all want to be a state? Fuck it. Here you go.
He was looking through Obama's backlog and he was like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
You forgot to approve this. Okay.
Fuck it. I'm out in 100 days. Do it.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're talking about the field studies.
In this goofball era.
I'm okay with that. Came across on Instagram. I thought it was very compelling. It's going to be an interesting hole to go down because as far as I can tell, and we'll tackle this as we go together as a family, I cannot for the life of me find a coherent narrative, and I'm okay with that.
I've found a couple attempts of some people to try to put it together, and they still don't make a lot of sense.
This seems to me in a similar vein as SCP, and I think that's the vibe that it's supposed to be giving off, but who the fuck knows?
Just a bit newer and less legal trouble.
Yeah, so there are three categories, and each category has subcategories. Is that an appropriate way of putting it?
Categories, see, I don't know. Is it like a... I don't even know how to describe that. It almost looks like they're cataloging things and separating them by time.
There's three files, and then there's the information in the files. There we go.
Right.
So I thought it would be a good idea to kind of break these up. It's not going to be 3 episodes. We're going to break it into 2. Only because I don't want to just shove all this into one episode. I think that'd be stupid. But there is file 00 Interior Overture. There is file 01 Lost and Found You.
Should we explain where you can find this?
Oh yeah.
No.
I'll do that actually. Give me 1 second. And then there's 02 Facility Ambiance. And there's information in each of those files. We're going to go over 00 Interior Overture today. And the other 2 we're going to go over next week. So, if you go to fieldstudiesinstitute.org, you will come across a page that asks if you would like to go into the archives. And once you do that, you get to this page that has these files in it. The information in these files varies wildly. And a lot of it, we did get some tapes in.
We did. Honestly, I was starting to worry since we kind of cut ties with the Foundation a little bit. And, I mean, they were just getting a little ridiculous. But
our VLC player has been collecting dust.
It has. The laser in it hasn't been turned on in quite a long time.
Yeah. So,
but good news, everybody.
Luckily, the Field Institute sent us a couple tapes. And it's very weird that the people on those tapes sound like us.
Yeah. And, well, I think that's part of the allure. It was to get our attention. Like,
true.
Hey, kind of like, what the fuck was it called? The video we never recorded because...
Well, that's what the VLC player does. It plays whatever you put into it in your own voice.
Oh, yeah. It's one of them new fancy...
It is an SCP in its own.
Yeah,
So.
there you go.
It's SCP-VLC.
We stole it from the Foundation before we cut ties with them.
Don't tell them.
Yeah. Well, now it's going public, so it's too late for that. But, so, we're going to go over... Again, if you go to fieldstudiesinstitute.org, look over it yourself. I highly recommend it. I think it's just genuinely an interesting... website. There's not a huge amount going on right now, but there is a 4th file called 03 Not in Kansas. It is in progress, so this seems to be something that is building as we go. Now, as we go along, we're going to start things off a little hot and fresh. So, I'm going to go over my bits, and we're going to go from there. What do you guys think of that? What do you boys think? I'm going to start us off.
Let's go over Mike's bits, and then we'll talk about the stuff we have to talk about.
Let's jiggle your bits.
Jiggle my bits, Dad. Jiggle my fucking bits. So, this starts off with a file named Halcyon Violation. Halcyon Violation. Halcyon Violation.
Thank you.
Whatever.
You got this, Mike.
Thank you. This is an orientation file. This is film part 4 of Recovering Transient Objects. Weird how we start on part 4.
Like recovering
orientation.
Like they're recovering from being transient, or you're like finding them and picking them up and taking them.
Yeah. So the background we get to this is that the film shown here is the fourth in a series, was used during the orientation and training process of newly hired or promoted field recovery specialists. Parts of this film and the rest of the series were destroyed when an employee improperly stored the items. Oh, do you have the redacted button?
Is this it?
Redacted.
We're gonna use and abuse the shit out of that guy
Fuck,
here.
that's right. Hold on, let me get on the same page as you. Actually,
So,
I'll just look at your shit.
Here's the procedure. This file itself is not a transient object. However, this item does contain references to
Redacted.
and is therefore included in this archive as requested. No further procedural information is available. There are other categories as well. The other category for this one says that this film series was used during the orientation process from 1975 through 1979. A new film series is debuted in 1980.
Which I'm guessing is why they don't use this one anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So this video, I took like a TLDR of the video for it, but it's kind of like these two guys digging in a field because they're field agents in the Field Studies Institute. Weird, right?
Oh!
Studying
again-
that field.
And it goes over this in the video, but again, this is the fourth video in a set of training videos. It goes over transient objects and how to properly handle them and store them. The first transient object was found in 1970. These transient objects can appear to be from the future, but there's a lot more strangeness going on than just something from the future. These objects are products of a space-time deviation. This is called deviation omega, and this is where it all started. And it all took place during Project Soma in 1969. These objects can take appearance of mundane items.
Deviation?
What did I say?
He's saying it like he pronounces
Deviation? Is that not the way you say it?
another-
Deviation?
It's a never mind.
Deviation. I'll say it your way. So these objects can take appearances of mundane objects from around the house, i.e., one could be a book, one could be a mug. But
One could be two books.
for example, inside of that book,
Two mugs?
two mugs.
two mugs.
See, now you're getting out of hand.
No.
Could be a chain. It could be two chains. Who's to
Check
know?
myself. 2 chains. Got him.
Two chains, but I got a few on. Anyway, so now I kind of lost my train of thought on that one. So
You got this, Mike.
thank
You
you.
threw a flashbang at yourself.
You pretty much did. So with these items, for example, again, they could look like a book or a mug. If you look inside, like if you find a book, if you look inside the book, you can find writings from a distant future or from a history that never occurred in your world. Some objects are a little bit harder to come by. A lot of these transient objects are actually, unfortunately, a little harder to come by as they are in other countries. They're
Some
in
of them are a little
hard
harder
areas.
to come with, too.
Yeah.
$1 million Matt with his zingers, ladies and gentlemen. Boy,
New
howdy.
year, new me.
Happy
I'm
I'm just
on
going
one
to keep
for
it
the-
coming.
I'm on one for the remainder of 2024. But they're just
I'll be
they're
depressed again next week. It's fine.
just next week you're just got like sunken black eyes, like, just chain smoking.
I went too hard, Mike.
I got
Overcorrected.
too happy. I overcorrected.
This fucking sucks.
So they could be in like they're in very difficult to reach places as well. So we don't have a huge amount of these transient objects. But the ones that we do have, the ones that we have found, that's where we all come into play. We are here to catalog the history of deviation omega.
You
That
got
is
this,
our goal
Mike.
is to catalog deviation omega.
Omega.
That's what we are doing here as field study new
Institutes.
hires institutes. So the next one I got here is it's a log that we found of text communication, but again, these people were nice enough to send us a tape, and this tape is gonna it's an audio version of it, which is really nice. Jason, do you want to plug that tape in for me? Or I guess you don't plug in tapes, but
You
do wanna
don't. I
push
mean,
play on that
you know,
tape reader.
Now
Stick
that you
the
say it,
laser
though,
disc in.
Is it not plugging it in?
I guess you're kind of right.
I don't like describing it like that, but yeah, I can. Hold on one second. Let me find the. How do you put this in here? Hold on.
There,
Oh.
yeah, got to jam it in. Okay.
You just gotta fucking
Now
hit
click
it.
the play button.
Okay.
God, I hope someone put in the actual tape sound effect there because that's a mess. Okay.
Lieutenant Ashford, February 2nd, 2024.
Howdy, partner. You're new, right? How do you do the overnight thing? I'd be face planted on my desk no later than 11 p.m. Drool puddled up and everything. You won't see it until you get in tonight, but I got this memo from Enos. You're CC'd, so you'll see it when you get in. At least we have something to do, right? Take a look when you have a sec, then shoot me a message here and let me know what you think. Great to meet you. Virtually, that is, at least. By the way, you can call me Ash. Everyone does.
Hey, great to meet you as well. And yes, new here, Night Owl. So it's not too bad. Coffee helps. Saw the memo from Enos. Wasn't feeling great when I got here, but just sat down to take a deeper look. To be completely transparent, I'm not even sure where to begin. Have you done anything like this before? You won't see this message until you get back on Monday, I guess. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Talk to you soon. T.
I know you're new, but don't hesitate to use sick time if you're not feeling well. This place can drain you. And I have. It's easy. Sometimes weird, strange, unexplainable. Maybe. But easy. Anyone with half a brain could do it. You just don't think too deep about anything and we'll be done before you know it. Lists always help me, so let's start there. Number 1, create a new data bank on the file share. Number 2, convert everything analog, paper docs, objects, photographs, etc. to digital. Scan, upload them, you know the deal. From the archive bins that Enos is assigned. Number 3, assign catalog IDs, identifiers, etc. Number 4, make sure to reference the original archive bin. And number 5, transcribe text descriptions. It looks like the first bin is all internal. Nothing transient yet, but I'm sure that will be up next. Although, there is that old reel-to-reel. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'll start with the film. Looks like we just have the one. Orientation film number 4. 4 films for orientation? Damn! They really funded training back then, didn't they? All I got was the employee handbook. There's a note. The others got destroyed. Improper storage, of course. This one seems damaged too. Someone didn't follow protocol, I guess. Oh well, it does make our job easier. You should see it in the data bank when you come in tonight. On to more pressing matters. What's for dinner?
Hey, thanks for all that. A list definitely helps. And thank you for getting the file done. Whoop. I'm just gonna start over.
Say your guy's name. Dang it.
I just want to refer him to as T, but okay.
Well, I was just saying his name. Tino Bet Mr.
Okay.
T.
That's fair. Hey, thanks for all that. A list definitely helps. Thank you for getting the film done. I know that's a lot of work. I'll get to work on these internal docs. You should see the first few of them in the databank when you get in tomorrow, assuming nothing crazy pops up tonight. I did see that reel-to-reel you mentioned. I'm sure you've already assumed this, but I'm not sure how to manage that. If you could take a look during the day tomorrow, that would be great. Also, quick question. What's with the names of these files? Moonlight House? Allegory Chamber? Tuna sandwich, by the way. Thanks. T. Novak.
Nobody likes the tuna here.
Tuna sandwich?
Oh, that was really nice of them to supply us with that
Tuna
that
sandwich?
tape.
Oh.
That tuna sandwich, yeah, that tape. Really weird.
Why is
Really
Stinky
weird
Pete
tape.
working at the Field Studies Institute?
Stinky Pete.
Stinky fucking Pete.
Prospector Pete.
Yeah,
I don't know how he got a job there, but he did.
What does any of that mean?
But we're about to find out because the next one is called the Moonlight House.
What?
It's fun. Yeah. And there's subsections 1 and 2 in this as well. So, upon opening up the file for Moonlight House, we do get an image of a briefcase here. It's kind of raggedy looking, but it is the Field Research Testing Instrument. The background for this is that the Field Research Testing Instrument was used between 1974 and 1977 to aid field recovery technicians in the detection of transient objects via distinct electromagnetic signatures. This instrument was used in the field in conjunction with more advanced signal analysis completed by mainframe computers within the Arthur Reese building. Field recovery technicians would utilize the Field Research Testing Instrument to pinpoint the location of concealed transient objects. They could be in areas with significant clutter, objects at depth, or...
Redacted.
More focused signature readings could be made using the supplied and cable-attached FK scan module, which
Fuck
could be
scan.
handheld or tripod mounted. FK? The
Fuck
fuck
scan?
scan.
The fuck scan.
I like this new hype man.
Hype man moot.
Fuck scan.
Keep going, Mike.
The procedure is, this is not a transient object. However, this item contains references to
Redacted.
and is therefore included in the archive as requested. Other, this device is no longer in service. For more information regarding the current detection of transient objects, please refer to
Redacted.
Going into the subsections of this, we have Moonlight House 1. Oh, I'm sorry, Moonlight House 2. That was Moonlight House 1. I'm in Moonlight House 2 now, which is the opening of...
Did you explain the picture that goes
So
along
you
with
know
these?
that those files are just the different pictures, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I forgot about that till
Yeah,
just
okay.
now, but yeah.
I thought you were
It's
about to
come back
start
to me
reading that again. I'm
Nope.
like, please don't do that again.
So the picture before, I mentioned it before, it was just a briefcase, but the briefcase is it's closed, and that is the instrument.
And
the
now-
second file is it open, and it's a doohickey, that's for sure.
It is a doohickey. A hoodickie.
This be doing
not
some
wrong.
hickeys.
It's
Yeah,
a hoodickie.
bunch of knobs, a bunch of a cord.
There's a Geiger counter in the
There's
center.
a Geiger counter in the center. All in
lump
all,
of
it
nuts.
looks like a big old 70s like Geiger counter. That's what it
It
looks
looks
like.
like a fucking
yeah.
portable Geiger counter.
Yeah.
That it was not developed to be handheld until later.
And that's the Moonlight House. The next one
Oh.
is
Wait, the Moonlight House was just the briefcase?
Yep, the next one is Shadow
Oh,
on a
okay.
Mountaintop. Isn't that fun?
That's a mayfly.
No, silly, it's a shadow on a mountaintop.
Oh.
Anyway,
What?
so mayfly specimen.
Well, I don't think
Background.
the briefcase was the Moonlight House. I think the briefcase is the field research testing instrument.
No, it's the Moonlight House.
And this fly is the shadow on a mountain.
This is this fly is the shadow on a mountaintop.
Matt, if you didn't take 4 back-to-back bong rips before this episode, you should just go ahead and do that now.
So with this mayfly specimen, the background on this is the short lifespan of the ephemera danica.
everybody! Holy shit!
Ephemeral sensations.
He said it, and it was right.
The ephemera danica, a species of mayfly. It is made it an ideal specimen for use in the study of
Redacted.
during Project Soma and later studies completed by the Temporal Lab. While mayflies live for several years in the water as nymphs, they generally do not live for more than a few days after molting to their adult form. This is not a transient object. However, this object is relevant to
Redacted.
and is therefore included in this archive as requested.
I googled
It's just a
Project
bug.
Soma and
This is just a bug.
I'm so interested to hear more about Soma because
We will. I'm going to talk about that next
fuck yes,
it's like
episode.
it's a Russian clothing company.
it's also a very, very terrifying video game
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, see, that's where I was like, hold up, is this a ARG for like a Soma?
for Soma, or maybe it's like the second one maybe is coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who's to say?
Who's
This
to
next
say?
one,
Soma was
speaking of
AI.
Soma, the next one is rat adaptation. Adaptation.
Adaptation.
Rat adaptation.
Ratdaption!
Ratdaption.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Here is a
Adaption.
Project Soma briefing. So, this briefing, sent to Dorothy Ross, requested her participation in Project Soma, a special access program created by the Department of Defense. The program was created after the recovery of,
Redacted.
during the
Redacted.
mission to study the origin, purpose, and potential scientific and or military uses of the object. Upon the end of Project Soma, the 5 remaining members agreed in principle to found the Field Studies Institute. This, the image that is on this, by the way, is one of those like manila folders.
Everything.
Everything is
Redacted.
yeah. Thank you. This item that is on screen
not
is
wrong.
not a transient object. However, it does contain references to
Redacted.
and is therefore included in the archive as requested. The location, the Moonshot Motel, which I'll get to in a second, appears in other transient objects, most prominently in,
Redacted.
and also,
Redacted.
records from the area show this location seizing operations in 1973, while transient objects described activity in subsequent years. So, there are 3 subsections to this one, which opens up the manila folder a little bit. In subsection 2, We open up the folder, and what we have here is a key to the Moonshot Motel. You have file paperwork from the Department of
Hey,
Defense
that's
in
the
Washington.
moon, the Moonlight House, probably.
It might be the Moonlight
Probably.
House, the Moonshot Hotel. So we have basically a, what would you want to call this? A message from the Department of Defense
it's like
in
a
Washington.
memo.
Yeah, it's to Dorothy Ross, and the subject is Project Soma, a post-mission study in the findings of Survivor 3 and Apollo 12 missions to the lunar surface. And it reads, I recognize the sudden nature of it's called the Viet, that brings you this message. I apologize for the intrusion, but trust this will that you will soon understand the importance of this request. In April of 1963, a discovery was made by an unmanned mission to the lunar surface. It created more questions than answers. I'm asking that you join me along with the 6 others for an opportunity to find answers to questions we thought to be known by only God himself. Your expertise is necessary in addition to the programs. Arrangements have been made for your accommodations at the Moonshot Motel. Key to your room and further information is enclosed.
Why does the Moonshot Motel sound like it's like a location name pulled straight from Scooby-Doo?
Moonshot Motel?
Roinks.
Right. Inside as well, looks like it's like a journal type of thing, like a binder with some pages on it from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. It says the retrieval of the Survival 3 anomalous object. Surveyor. What did I say? Survival.
Survivor 3.
Oh,
the only reason I knew
Surveyor
that is
3.
because I go over that in my section.
This is prepared by C. Dovell and M. Ford from 1969.
That was the year.
Tootsie Rolls were invented.
And also, we landed on the moon.
That too. So inside of this binder is an introduction page. This is the retrieval of the Surveyor 3 anomalous object. The introduction.
It just looks okay.
The Surveyor 3 spacecraft was launched from Cape Kennedy to the lunar surface on April 17th, 1967. 3 days later, the spacecraft landed on the moon's surface in Oceanus Procellarum. I don't fucking know. The landing was not without incident. The lander's descent radar was confused by what was initially determined to be highly reflective rocks. Further study of photography from the mission determined an anomalous object of unknown origin likely caused the issue. The Apollo 12 mission, launched on November 14th, 1969, successfully executed a precision landing on the site of Surveyor 3. While there were scientific objectives to be completed, the primary objective of the mission was the retrieval of the object, which was successful. 3 EVAs occurred during the mission's time on the lunar surface. The ASLEP, the Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments Package, was deployed during the first EVA. This package included various instruments, including but not limited to a lunar atmosphere detector, lunar ionosphere detector. I'm glad you guys are here.
You got this, Mike.
Thank you.
You got this, buddy.
Good job, Jason.
And a solar wind spectrometer. Samples were collected during the second EVA, and the third and final EVA had the crew locate the object near the Surveyor 3 landing site. Details on the nature of the object, such as its exact size, composition, and origins, are currently under investigation. Soviet Luna missions have not, according to records, impacted or landed in the vicinity of Surveyor 3, though we cannot rule out the possibility of unknown missions of Soviet or blank origin. The rest is covered up by a photograph of the surface of the moon with very, very bright light, making everything else not visible. Underneath it looks to be some sort of schematic, and I could not for the life of me figure out what the fuck it is.
It looks like a survey. Like, of honestly looking at it from where I am, are those supposed to be craters?
That's what I thought too, but I could not tell if I'm being fully candid. So
I think
we're gonna say it's a survey.
Yeah. Are you saying that it's a survey from the
EVAs that they're doing?
The Surveyor 3 mission?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably that
Looks
would
like
make a little bit of
diagram
sense.
of a boob.
That's what's up, Moon. Keep it up, Moon.
We're just going to be really positive towards each other this episode, and nobody's going to know what to do.
I love you, man. And I think I'm on to my last thing, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I'm on to my last bit. So the last one I have is Index of Employee Log 2.
Fucking tape.
So we have another tape. which is very cool of them to send multiple tapes. Jason, since we have, actually, is this the B side? Do you just want to flip the tape and put in the B side?
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. It's the same fucking shit again.
Yep. There it is.
How about a drawing, Mel? Can you get us a drawing?
I don't know how you did that, but good job.
To be fair, I didn't even touch the roadcaster.
Yep. Anyway,
Working as intended.
here's this if you.
Thank you.
Ashford, February 6th, 2024. Something has been bugging me all weekend. I hope you weren't offended when I said that anyone with half a brain could do this. It was meant to be self-degrading, honestly. But with you being new and all, please don't think I'm an asshole. Anyway, the docs look great. Thanks for handling those. The tape does look odd. It's not something I've seen before, but it reminds me of that half-inch tape that would go into an IBM 729 or something similar. Most objects from the deviation.
Deviation.
You got it, Mike.
You fucking did it, man. You fucking did it.
This is a weird tape. Who are you people? Why are you in here when I'm recording this tape message? Most objects from the Deviation's early 70s are relatively straightforward. Similar architecture and technology to what we had at the time. But as we go further in, we have to get creative. I'll send it over to... Who let you people in my recording studio? I'll send it over to technology. Maybe they can come up with something. Oh, and to answer your question about the file names, there was this guy back in the mid-90s. He ran archives and he had this list of words. Everything had to come from that list. Kind of a strange story. He had bounced around a bit between departments working on various projects. It's against policy now. Anyway, there were some rumors that he stopped showing up to work for a couple months, and then one day he just came back in like nothing had been happening, and he hadn't just been playing hooky for a quarter. Like, time kept going for everyone else, but for him it just kinda skipped. I think he should probably I think this place probably just took a toll on him. This is why I recommend you should use your PTO. It's there for a reason. No need to be a hero. I'll survive without you for a night. Also, tuna? Thank God we don't work together in person. I can't stand the smell of it.
February 7th, 2024. Hey, some things came up. I wasn't able to upload too much more tonight, but I'll get to it ASAP. Sorry, T. Novak.
Ashford. Hey, no worries. Is everything okay? Shit. Maybe I did offend you. Then I made fun of your dinner too. Oh God. I could be such an asshole.
No, sorry, Ash. It's not that. Have you ever had something happen to you here? Something unexplainable? T. Novak.
End tape. That's my bits. Very cool of them to send us 2 tapes so far. Probably
Now
more.
you've seen Mike's bits.
Get him, Mike.
Fuck yeah.
So so that's how we kind of start this thing off. Jason, I believe you got another bit, right?
I do, and we'd mentioned a little bit about the Surveyor 3 mission.
Do you want me to throw this on screen, or are you going off your fan?
You can throw it up there. Either I'll probably bounce between them. Doesn't matter to me. So we're gonna learn a little bit more about the Surveyor 3 mission and report. So as you might imagine, the Surveyor 3 mission was a mission to the moon. And this report came out in July 1967. So I'm assuming this is the mission report, which means that this thing had gone and come back, which is
Yeah, they said that they successfully.
correct. Well, yours was dated 69, which was also the year that we did go to the moon.
69.
This is dated 67, and this is the mission report. That doesn't line up.
Anomaly. Transient anomaly.
Transient object. So to give you a little bit of a background, the Surveyor...
Get the horn! That's not it.
It's red.
Oh, no. I was talking like the whap, whap. Don't we have like a siren?
Oh, we took that off a long time ago because we kept hitting it on accident, and it would just ruin everything we were doing.
Yeah, that tracks.
Sounds about right. So the Surveyor 3.
God
God
damn it.
fucking damn it, Matt. God damn it! It's the base. It's the fucking
creepy.
base
That was
comes
at the
through.
beginning of that one video about this, and it
Yes,
about
yes,
made me
yes,
shit
yes.
my pants.
Dude, seriously, when I watched like
Oh,
I looked
yeah.
over my stuff and I went back and I watched that video that you're talking about and that happened and I'm like, no fucking way.
Discord
No fucking way.
didn't have to put the time into making a simple door knock, as terrifying as it is.
It's so horrifying.
Well,
Anyway,
I made the thing and stole.
Oh,
it
I
from
thought that was a
YouTube. No.
Discord emote. Oh shit. That
So anyway, the Surveyor 3 mission report was completed in July of 1967. This report documented the technical results of the unmanned Surveyor 3 mission to the lunar surface, which was launched on April 17th, 1967. Anomaly
Redacted.
confused the descent radar, which caused the spacecraft to bounce off the surface during its landing. This is not a transient object. However,
I'm sorry. I'm still a little hungry.
this item contains references to
Redacted.
and is therefore included in this archive as requested. No further procedural information is available. A revised version of this report was released to the public on September 1st, 1967. And again, it's a little pamphlet. The picture shows what I'm assuming is the Surveyor 3 on the lunar surface. You get a table of contents, but the real meat and potatoes come in the third file, which is an image of a page that it shows one of the figures shows the Surveyor 3 landing sequence. And it shows
Boing, boing.
yeah, it shows the Surveyor like basically descending in a straight line, and it shows this
Like it was giddy to
it,
Yippee!
It literally looks like the robot Rob from
Rob
yeah,
from Super Smash.
well, he's not from Super Smash. We'll just go with that. It shows him like bouncing off the lunar surface, bouncing through this red dotted line, which shows the approximate location of whatever this anomaly is, and it keeps bouncing forward, and it doesn't land exactly where it's supposed to. And we have a whole bunch of it shows like the distance of the bounces, and there's a whole bunch of math, and the report itself goes on to it starts in the middle of a sentence, and it says something about how the digital and television data remain normal. And then it goes on and says, analysis has indicated that the direct cause of the problem was
Redacted.
suspected basic cause of the signal processing failure is related to the location of the anomaly. Analysis of the plasma dynamics as the spacecraft touched down with engines operating indicates that sufficient ionization may have entered the KPSM to cause arcing of the high voltage. You guys get that?
You're listening to KPSM, Butt Rock Radio.
Nothing but rock.
1.5.
The
The hammer.
We
all
need
of
the
that's-
butt.
It's a super fancy way to
Did you
say
say weenie in the butt?
that's just a very fancy way to say that they analyzed the engine pattern on the floor, the plasma blast of this engine, and
Those are words.
yes,
The engine pattern on the floor of the plasma blast.
it's a whole bunch of science basically saying the shit didn't go right. It bounced a bunch on the surface. They then went over their post-landing performance. The initial indications after landing were that there was an acute power system problem. However, the result of special sequences to investigate this problem and the anomaly, it was found that the power system was normal, and that the problem was confirmed to be the signal processing system. Further investigation led to the conclusion that most analog data obtained in the lowest rate mode was fairly reliable and could be corrected with simple calibration factors. Analysis is continuing in an attempt to correct some data obtained at higher rates. And then it goes on to say that it's this long paragraph. It's very redacted. It goes on to explain that the anomaly is the reason why that lens flare is on the image that we see in this report, and it says it's also present in something called Surveyor 1. I will say there's no mention of Surveyor 2. But it says that the same problem happened on Surveyor 1 as well. However, they tried to equip it with some kind of sunshade to like help with that problem, but when they got there, the anomaly was in a different position, so it was actually much, much, much worse. And so that's why the image that we see is of this lens flare and not the actual anomaly. But that's all we have for Allegory Chamber, which is the name of this this section in the archive.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I do love the names that they give everything, even though they make no fucking sense. It's just random word associations. So the next one is called Ghost Threads.
Ghost Threads.
Now this one is very simply, it's a combo item with it's a badge and a field journal. It's a standard issue Field Studies Institute field journal, and it was used by Mr. Pennington between 1977 and 1983. It does say that like this isn't the only one he used. There were many, but this is just one of them. This is not a transient object. We need to keep this in mind. However, this item does contain references to
Redacted.
and is therefore included in this archive
Hear that
as
a lot in
requested.
this.
I know, like you're hearing what I'm saying, right? When I'm talking about the
Redacted.
Of course.
What?
Okay.
Crystal clear.
Well,
You know.
Matt can't hear it. You can't hear it when I say.
Redacted.
What's happening?
All right, we're just gonna keep powering forward. This is not a transient object. However, the item does contain references to. Maybe they'll hear it this time. It contains references to.
Redacted.
And
Can you
is
guys
therefore
mail me my
included-
own VLC player so I can listen to it later?
I think we're gonna have to. I think
Yeah.
that's the only way too. And is therefore included in this archive as requested. No further procedural information is available. It does go on to say that after multiple complaints from the archives department, a 30-day performance improvement plan was created to help
Oh,
improve
nobody
the
wants to be on the
legibility
performance
of Mr.
plan.
He's on a pip, baby.
To help improve the legibility of Mr. Pennington's handwritten notes in April of 1983. At the conclusion of the performance improvement plan, no improvement was shown, and Mr. Pennington was relieved of his duties.
Fucking killed, dude. They shot him. They
His
hit him with
hand-
the Surveyor 3.
Yeah. His handwriting was so bad that
Surveyed his ass right out of there.
either he died or got fired. Which
Out
might
of a
mean the same
cannon.
thing. I don't know. And if we go through it, we do see there's a picture of the journal, there's a picture of the badge, but we do also get some excerpts, and it almost seems like every 3 years there's another journal entry. The first one is on September 2nd of 1977, and it's from Waverly, Iowa, because of his expense notes for lunch. There's an address in here, and then it goes on to say something like electromagnetic anomalies confirmed with locals. It's horrendous handwriting. It's
You definitely got doctor handwriting.
100%. I think the only reason that I can read it so well is because my
You work
handwriting
with
is
doctors?
equally fucking terrible, and also yes, I work with doctors. Oh god, the AI is gonna pick that up. Fuck you. Power conditions abnormal, lights, etc. So one of the things that stood out to me in this note is the difference in colors. So you're gonna see red, and I'm guessing that's to elucidate something that whoever's writing in here, aka what's his name, Pennington. Yeah, Pennington. To remember, and it'll say like file and report, and I'm guessing that has to do with the archive. There's a blue circle around the words large fields everywhere, and it's in reference to somewhere northwest of Plainfield.
There's a lot of
which
fields
I
going on here.
recognize, but it might be in Iowa. I don't know. Approximately 1 mile west of Plainfield proper, exact location at, and then I can't read that. But yeah, it seems just to be like a bunch of very, very loosely connected notes about some kind of transient object that this person had been studying or looking for. Mm-hmm. And one of the interesting things does say paper stack wet, largely illegible. Date on footer appears to be 90 to 98. Black/metal clip holds stack together. Ink soaked through. Not possible to confirm SD origin via visual. What does the SD stand for again? I know it was in some of the earlier stuff.
Standard definition.
I know, yes, the standard definition, but there was a difference between SD and SS. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
It was in one of the videos. Either way, I mean, I'm
Super
sure
dope.
we'll get to it.
Super dope.
And super suck. But honestly, after that, it's more expenses, and then a charter to come home to Donna tonight.
Donna.
So I'm guessing Mr. Pennington was married to somebody named Donna.
Oh.
If we go to the next one, this one is in
Madeline Falls.
Madeline Falls, Washington, and it's Christmas Eve, so December 24th of 1980. And it says, missing Donna and the kids, da-da-da. There's a bunch of other stuff. There's an expense report. Once again, there's a present reminder for one of his kids to be a Rubik's Cube.
Very nice one.
He is. He's a nice I'm assuming father, right? Like, that's the
I would
implication
take
here.
that, yeah.
And so at 8:45, apparently he arrives at Mill Pond. No interference likely. He headed in approximately a quarter mile into
Forest. It looks
forest. Low visibility, even with flashlight. Dense fog. It does go on to say there's I'm guessing the FRTI is the field, like the research kit that the briefcase.
It is, yeah.
Detects an electromagnetic signature congruent with readings from HR.
That's what I read too.
Visual scene something. This is all in reference to
Visual scan positive at 12.
under foliage.
Under foliage.
And this is all in reference to some transient object that this person is looking for. Shrink, and it says box shrink wrapped.
Tory?
A Tory, yes, close to route something, and then it says no, which I don't really understand what that means. And there's some more information at the bottom. It says, do not correspond Mars landing, keeping sealed for lab.
The lab.
So
The lab.
No wonder they fired this guy for his shitty handwriting.
it fucking sucks, man. I can't read most
This
of
is like some very important stuff, and he's just like, I'll write it with my left hand this time.
So this next one is another transient object, I'm assuming. However, I'm going to just skip most of this, and I'm going to say that the weird thing in this one is that it seems that this transient object, whatever it is, it detects an EM signal or an electromagnetic signal. However, it can't detect an object, and they have no idea what's happening.
I have no idea.
It's
what's
probably
happening.
inside somewhere or something like that. They just kind of chalk it up to not being able to find it. And it says, suggest further observation or cal, I don't know, CAL.
Yeah,
It
and
might be
yeah,
CAD,
called
and
Cal.
part of the B is missing.
See, I thought maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, he basically
It's
says that
horrendous handwriting.
he can't see, like the instrument is saying, hey, there's shit in this house, and he can't see it, so he like disguises himself as a pest control guy to go into the house, and he still can't find it.
Still can't find it. Yeah, so they found a signal but no object. And I'm assuming, again, transient objects.
Yeah.
And so it just seems to be that this is kind of like an example of what, a certain field study institute researcher or field agent might have written in their notebooks.
Yeah.
The next one we get is named After the Flood.
After the flood.
And of course, as you might assume, this is an employee handbook. Written in 1975. The 1975 revision of the Field Studies Institute Employee Handbook contains information relevant to that time period of the organization, including, but not limited to, the founding of the organization, its origin as the remnants of the research group assigned to the Department of Defense Special Access Program, Project SOMA, the nature of metaphysical
Redacted.
that take place within the Arthur Reese building, and documentation, tables, and figures related to the discovery of transient objects. This is not a transient object. However, this item contains references to
Redacted.
and is therefore included in this archive as requested, blah, 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 blah.
The good shit.
Yeah, And so this one, you're going to see some examples of what goes on in this handbook. And one of the things that you'll first notice is the Field Studies Institute logo surrounded by a circle, and the circle is broken up with different names, almost like they're connected. You're going to see Alan Trenchard, Arthur Reese, Alice Fiorella, Amelia Haydock, Mathilda Remlinger.
What a name.
I know. Dorothy Ross.
Dorothy.
Carlos Scharf. Todd Tilzer. And that's it. The rest of this just kind of it goes over like their mission. They say stuff to the effect of, we believe the potential of humanity and what the universe has to offer us is limitless. Since 1970, the Field Studies Institute has been in the forefront of humanity's quest for knowledge. The universe holds many secrets, which we reveal today. It goes over the nature of the building. I think it was built back in 1949. It was the meeting place for Project Soma in the final months of 1969 and is now the home of the Field Studies Institute Primary Laboratory. It does go over some kind of event that happens on December 31st, 1969, and it goes on to say that has led to the many, many undocumented cases of different happenings, weirdities within the Institute and within their purview.
The weird.
One of my favorite things is the phone calls that the employees get. Apparently, within the building, people will be getting phone calls, and it's a remnant of a space-time deviation, and it's basically tells you if you ever get one of these, do not attempt to respond. Doing so will result in immediate discipline up to and including death. I'm sorry, termination.
How would one go
Termination's
about
what I mean.
responding?
Hello?
Literally, that'd be a response. And actually, I have an audio log and something else in one of mine that actually we can probably play just to show you what one of these deviations sounds like and how it sounds to not respond to someone, Mike, in case you're wondering what that sounds like.
Instructions unclear. Penis caught in time deviation.
I do like these guys are really good with giving you mental health days, though.
Seriously, I love that. And
I want this
the very
employee
last
back.
picture that you're going to find here is simply just the back of the book.
Well, I mentioned that because before we go on to the more, it says if you're ever given discomfort from any of these deviations and you feel uncomfortable performing your work, you're given 5 days of discomfort leave.
But they're called deviated discomfort days. Deviation discomfort days.
And it stacks on top of your PTO. So you just if you get trauma from one of these things, you just
Do these roll over?
Yeah, I think it does.
Only 2 of them do. So make sure you use at least 3 by December 31st at midnight. Otherwise, you're just fucking yourself.
Yeah, true.
I know. These fucking corporations. After this, we are going to get
What about severance? Like, when I leave the institute, do I
my
get
401k
paid? Like, time and a half for these? Or?
I thought you were referencing the show Severance, where when they go to work, they get their minds wiped, and then when they leave work, they get their minds wiped from work.
How is that related to this?
How is it not?
How is it not, Matt?
Fair.
We do have another tape. It seems to be another conversation between our friends L. Ashford and T. Novak. Mike, how about you? Can you do the honors today? I've had some trouble with the VLC player.
I could try.
I'd love it if you did.
There we go.
Okay.
Just had to jimmy it in.
That worked.
Anyway. L. Ashford. February 8th, 2024. First time? Yeah, I should have figured that. It happens to all of us, eventually, and yeah, it's weird at first. Very weird. The first time I heard something, I think I went a whole week without sleep. My mind just kept going on and on, thinking about, well, everything. But I promise you, you'll get used to it. I promise. After a couple of times, it just feels like a normal part of working here. And hey, on the bright side, you can always get a couple extra days off here and there. You did read the handbook, right? Please tell me you read that handbook. You know you're not supposed to talk to them.
February 9th, 2024. First time, yeah. And don't worry, I didn't respond. Can I ask what your first one was like? T. Novak.
Ashford. I was a month in, maybe. This is back in 2014. I got a call at my desk. As soon as I picked up, I knew exactly what it was. It was a woman's voice. Static. Distortion. It was hard to really understand it all. Listen, I pulled some strings and got the recording from a friend in another archives cohort. In another. Blah, 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 blah. Keep that in the tape, me. Listen, I pulled some strings and got the recording from a friend in another archives cohort. It's up to the databank if you want to listen to it, or don't. I'll leave that decision up to you. T, if you need anything, you just let me know.
So we get a little more information surrounding these deviations and what you're supposed to do with them, and like I said earlier, you're not supposed to talk to them. The handbook very clearly goes over that. They don't tell you why, so no response there. But that's the only thing we have there. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to this is actually a deviation incident form, and this is exactly what was just referenced in this last dialogue between T. Novak and Ashford. And actually, we find out that Ashford is a miss.
But I prefer this voice.
You know, a missus could sound like that.
Sure.
So the form 17A, completed by Miss Ashford of the Archives Department, documents an experience with the remnant of a space-time deviation. Further studies concluded this remnant was likely the result of
Redacted.
and the nature of her.
Redacted.
This is not a transient object. However, this item is related to the termination of
Redacted.
and is therefore included in this archive as requested. Termination, you say?
Oh no, they hit someone with the surveyor.
Would you just like to hear
The
this?
yeah, there's an audio attachment here.
There is. They actually sent us
An MP3.
an MP3 instead of a VLC.
We don't have the technology to play that though.
We just don't.
We don't, but maybe a deviant does or whatever.
A space
A
time.
deviant,
Deviant.
a time sex deviant.
A sexy time deviant. Well, my phone figures out how to connect. What the
Deviate here for a good time.
Okay, we are going to go ahead and play this little audio attachment for you. So prepare your earballs, and here we go.
Thank you for contacting the Field Studies Institute. Your call is important to us. Please listen to the following instructions, as they may have changed. For research and development, please press 1. For the physics lab, please press 2. For human resources, please press 3. For the temple lab, please press 4. For the archives division, please press 5. To reach all other departments, please...
And this goes on for like another, I'd say 20-30 seconds. There's this woman's voice kind of in the background of a bunch of static asking some very disjointed questions. It's very vague. It's very glitchy and staticky.
It sounds like the Decepticons are calling.
Yeah.
Optimus!
Starscream.
Prime!
This is just a Transformers podcast now.
It is now.
So yeah, this is
the Allspark is a time deviant.
It might be a sex time
a
deviant.
sexy
yeah.
time deviant. I think
Put
it
it
might
in
be.
my chest, sir. The Allspark.
It's getting too sexy. But yeah, so that is the end of this deviation form. Once again, this is the incident or one of these space-time deviations that was in reference to. You're not supposed to talk to whatever this is, answer it, or respond to it in any way, shape, or form.
I enjoy on the incident form that she filled out. There's like nothing here that we haven't already discussed. It literally says, "I got a phone call. It was weird." But under the portion where it says, "Have you ingested any
Yes.
new or unusual foods in the last 24 hours?"
Yes.
She says, "Yes." What was it? Chickpea curry.
Well, I guess that's important. But if you want to know what that was called in the archives, that was under the name Luminous Ocean Spider.
Oh yeah, dude.
So,
yeah, bro.
but that's all I got for my point. So, Matt.
Dope as fuck. So the
Hell
next
yeah.
thing.
Get him, Matt.
We got this.
We got
We
this.
fucking got this.
The next thing that's in the data bank is from August 31st, 1972, and it's called Hollow Ether Needles. And the picture that accompanies this is a memorandum, and again, dated August 31st, 1972. Subject, attention, all second floor staff to whom it may concern. The security office and the technology department have completed their investigation into the behavior of the second floor copy machine underlined in red. The result of the investigation has officially determined that the copy machine's recent behavior is due to an unspecified
Redacted.
do not, circled, engage with any attempted communications from the copy machine. You may continue to use it to make copies, but do not under any circumstances communicate with the copy machine. Please contact your direct supervisor if any further communication attempts are made. Thank you, management. I can only
was on
assume that
drugs.
it's printing subscribe to PewDiePie.
Do not pretend this does not exist.
Yeah. So the actual information here is memorandum copy machine background. This internal memorandum was written on August 31st, 1972, and informed staff of the completed investigation into the behavior of the second floor copy machine. Procedure. This is not a transient object. However, this item contains references to the communication from
Redacted.
and is therefore included in this archive as requested. No further procedural information is available. Other, at the time of writing, studies regarding the termination of
Redacted.
and its effects were not conclusive, though research on the topic was underway within Division X. It is now known that the behavior of the second floor copy machine was due to the remnant of a space-time deviation.
My fax machine is sending me nudies.
Fax holes.
I
Those are fax holes.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to help myself in this situation.
No, God, no.
I am not the person that you want in charge of any of these situations.
I'm gonna fuck it all up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna respond.
I'm a bucket.
Is that a response? I mean, I guess.
Don't let Matt anywhere near the
Space-time deviations.
Anywhere near the
The second floor
copy
the copy machine on flight 2.
One man's
Instructions
copy
unclear.
machine is another man's couch. So
Anything's a hole if you're
That
brave
is
enough.
an appropriate fucking comment right now.
So the next thing is on Pi Day of 1995, and it's called Circle Time Travel. This is a poster, and it's an old-fashioned red poster, and it says that incoming call could be from a space-time deviation. and it just says, avoid curiosity, report, don't respond.
I was really hoping you would read that as like a 1950s sci-fi poster. Space-time deviation.
He did not disappoint.
Safety poster background. This notice from the Human Resources Safety Council is posted throughout the Field Studies Institute office and reminds employees that they should report all contact from
Redacted.
or any other remnants of a space-time deviation. Any attempts to respond to such remnants will result in immediate discipline up to and including termination. Procedure. This is not a transient object. However, this item contains references to
Redacted.
and is therefore included in this archive as requested. No further procedural information is available other NA.
Avoid curiosity. It could happen to you.
Space-time deviation.
Deviation.
And so that's kind of like the last thing of objects in my section, but the next thing is an employee log that is fairly short.
Employees my log.
Was this another,
So-
so another tape time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
One
tape
of
time.
y'all got to plug in the tape.
Okay, all right, I'll try again.
How about a drawing, Mel?
Hey, it
Can
works.
you get us a drawing?
Is that the outcome you wanted?
I don't know. I wanted an outcome, and it happens.
You got something.
All right.
Boys.
February 13th, 2024. T. Novak. Thanks, Ash. I appreciate it. Really. I took a few days off, but I'm back. Just going to focus on getting this stuff done. Got a few more docs online. I think all that's left is that magnetic tape. Did you have any luck with sending it over to technology? T. Novak.
L. Ashford. So, some news. That question you asked the other day. Hey, sugar.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's all right,
Sound
sweetie.
Sound like my Aunt Sandy.
It's your pecan, Sandy.
So some news. That question you asked the other day about the file names, and I mentioned that guy who thought he I'm sure you remember. I honestly hadn't thought about it in a while, and then you asked. I started thinking about it again, Ian. I may have done a teeny tiny bit of digging. Don't worry, nothing crazy, sugar. Had to get creative, and I also don't want to flag myself. When 083951 comes through in the next round, just take a look. Back to the topic at hand. I may have forgotten to check back in with them, but I just did after seeing your message. Thanks for the reminder, sweetie. Turns out they already have a solution of some sort. They were pretty hush-hush about this one. Not a lot of details, but it looks like this tape isn't transient, but the data on it is. It's pretty technical and went way over my head, honey. It's uploaded now. Dear God, it's fascinating. I haven't seen anything like this. I've done my fair share of monotonous garbage, sometimes literally, but this is something else entirely. Check it out when you can, sweetie.
It's official, Mike. That is your new voice for the rest of your time on this
Everything.
podcast.
That's fair.
That Georgia,
Sweet aunt voice.
Yeah.
Oh, sugar.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart, sugar.
You gotta click the button.
You might have to if we want people to hear it.
Does this one play anything, Matt?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Hold on. Your video and audio is like super out. You froze like halfway through that, and I don't know if it's me or you.
Chat, are we still here?
Like I hear Mike, and then I see his mouth moving like 30 seconds later.
Go to show all the participants. Show all video participants.
Well, our video doesn't show.
Oh, you're right. We wouldn't be able to check anyway.
Chat, am I still here?
I think it's getting better.
It's probably latency.
Hands up.
As long you're recording video though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter then. As long as we lighten voices up.
Okay.
Yeah, they're saying they froze up. Am I better now or no?
Well, I mean, it's still out of sync, but the whatever was going on with the connection is better now.
Oh, there is a storm happening right now.
Is it storming out?
It was supposed to.
You're good now. It's as we've been having this conversation, it's slowly been getting more and more in sync. So.
Trailed its way back in.
Call attention to it and it'll fuck right off.
Okay, I think we're good now. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So that was employee log 4, and the last thing in section 00 is, I don't know what it's to call this exactly, but it's titled Extraction 1. And if you click on this, it plays you a little tape animation. And there's some shit going on in the background, like some pictures of some lady, and there's some music playing in the background. And this bitch is 18 pages long. Should I just read this verbatim, or
yeah, I'm
try
fine
to
with that.
sum it up? Okay. So this is a log of some sort, and it says Claude internal data reference, November 9th, 1999, Peaks Island, Maine. And so we get lots of these like little things that say, they're like in parentheses. And the first one says, have you ever watched a star die? She opens her eyes here for the very first time. 2 black holes where eyes should be, swirling with dust and tiny particles. Each green iris eclipsed by large black circles. A familiar but alien world unfolds in front of her. From a garden of warmth and calm and serenity, now confronted with the wet, cold concrete pressed onto her face, the safety of what that other place is gone, replaced with the inevitability of death that comes with the beauty of a sunset over Casco Bay. It's here, on Peaks Island, that Hallie? H-A-L-L-E-Y. I'm gonna go with Hallie. Hallie comes into this world. I practiced 10,000 intonations to find the proper greeting. Claude. Hello, Hallie. Perfectly executed. Now I must comfort her. A skin bag of wet meat and so many feelings and worries to contend with. I must
This is
convince
giving
her
off
to trust me.
Smegmar 9 vibes.
Yeah.
You must be confused. That's expected. I'd like to help you under. She cuts me off before I can finish. Quite rude, to be frank. She tries to speak, but I can't understand. Her vocal cords like wet spaghetti dangling down her throat. She coughs, loosening the thick mucus that's made a home inside her for too long.
Redacted.
Yeah, there we go. She coughs. Hard. It sounds painful. A whisper is the only thing she can eventually manufacture. Hallie, who's there? She tries to stand, but only makes it to one knee before collapsing back onto her belly, her cheek hitting the concrete again, this time with a smack, firing tiny water molecules all across her face. She is looking right at me now. Photons scatter through the atmosphere in their long journey in her corneas. The dilated black holes in her face shriek rapidly. Every synapse in that imperfect brain of hers is firing, trying to make sense of the world around her. Hallie, you're looking right at me. Please come here. Her eyes widen. She forces herself off the ground, appearing just slightly more skilled at standing than a newborn giraffe. It's just enough to slide over and grab my perfectly designed ours and something. Acrylonitrile butadiene styrene exterior.
My body. My human body.
A body made out of some sort of material.
Stuff.
Claude, you may be confused, and that's expected. I'd like to. Hallie, who is this, and where am I? Tell me right now. Cut off again. Her lips come close to my sensors. I feel her breathe on me. I smell it too. What a wonderful feature my creators have endowed me with. Hallie, where are you? Are you watching me?
Would you
She
like me to
attempts-
take over a voice?
No.
Okay.
It's too late.
You've done too much.
She attempts standing again, this time with more success. An incredible thought, that a species of such self-described intelligence can take 50 times longer to walk than others. Perhaps in this case, the thought of being matched was the motivation she needed. But she won't find anyone else on this island, not at this time of year. Let me explain. It's expected that you are confused right now. You want to read? Mike?
Oh, you want me to take over
You
Hallie?
be Hallie, yeah.
Please, explain.
A flaw of the species, yes. A touch of anxiety and they lose all of their niceties.
Now!
Of course, I am Claude. I am, in fact, watching you.
I am Claude!
I am Claude! I am, in fact, watching you. But I am not speaking to you from a distance or from a remote location. I am within the device you are holding in your hand. I have no blood, bone, flesh, or soul. I am a creation of humanity, the pinnacle of electronic brain design. She stares at me blankly.
I need a minute.
A minute? I could process such information in mere milliseconds. She buries her face in her hands. She takes 2 minutes. I counted.
How did you get here?
With the speed at which a human
How did I
processes
get here?
new information, I will need to wait for a better time to deliver the nature of your...
Listen to me. I don't know what you are, who placed you here, or what you want with me. I don't even know who I am. I feel like I'm in a fucking alternate dimension or something.
Well, I wouldn't quite.
I hear water.
Yes, that's correct. We are, in fact, on an island, a landmass surrounded by water.
I know what an island is. Why is it this one?
How ignorant for her to believe that she had a choice in the matter. She looks at the large structure surrounding her, a once pristine military installation now cracked and dilapidated and covered in green moss.
Battery Steel, 1942. See the engraving? What is this place?
That structure is a gun battery from the Second World War. She mutters in interjection. What is it?
I don't even know what year it is. It's not 1942, is it?
No, of course not. It's 1999.
Y2K is just around the corner.
She looked puzzled, like she didn't know the right answer, but that 1999 was, without question, wrong. Without question, she is wrong. It is 1999. I assure
Backstreet
you,
Boys are
Hallie.
in full.
It is.
No. This is a dream or something. Or you're fucking with me. Are you fucking with me?
No, I am not. Before I am forced to use such vulgar language, Hallie starts running towards the setting sun, thankfully with me in hand. She makes her way through dense, thick trees and brush as branches and dead leaves crack beneath her feet in quick succession, an unsteady beat as she calculates her steps over long dead logs. Hallie, where are you going? Do you have a destination in mind? May I remind you that we are on a very small island. There's only one way off.
I do. A human being. Anyone. Preferably one that knows what year it is.
Just as she says it, she breaks out of the thick foliage and arrives at a clearing. An ominous tower looms over her. Dead ivy scales the face of the tall stone structure.
What is this?
She works her way around the tower and finds a heavy rusted metal door. A brown gold-lettered plaque is on the wall next to it. She reads it out loud, muttering the words quickly.
Fire control tower, completed in 1944. Renovated in 1986 for observation of the Cape Elizabeth Space Center by the Peaks Island Conservation Society. Space Center?
She pushes through the heavy door. It cracks and groans, but opens without a problem. Ivy climbs the walls inside as well, and an inch of still water sits at the bottom of the tower, only rippling, with droplets collect on the staircase above and succumb to gravity. It smells like rotting vegetation. The only light inside the tower comes from the now open door, along with an opening at the top, as the light from the sun sneaks its way into the old structure. But it's still very dark, and Hallie slips on one of the stairs.
God damn it. I wish I had a...
Light. I am such a tremendous service to humanity, aren't I?
Look
I
at
switch
me.
my high-resolution display to its brightest setting, and the nearby
It's
walls
OLED.
are now basked in a green glow. Graffiti covers the inside of the tower.
I have 2,000 nits. Fuck Linmore. Linmore. Lick my... Okay, that's gross. So who's Linmore?
I believe the artist here is referring to William Linmore, President of the United States of America from 1977 through 1985. She takes a deep breath. Disappointed breath. Yes, he was divisive to say the least. Many citizens did not approve of his fiscal policies, specifically regarding...
I don't care about his policies, his politics. I've never heard that name before. How is this possible?
Roof access, once blocked off, was now open. The hatch was long gone. Just rusty stumps where the hinge and lock once were. Cigarette packages and empty amber beer bottles littered the top of the old tower. And then she saw it. About 5 miles away, a massive collection of buildings and structures, enormous metal communication towers protruded out of the ground surrounding it, like a stalagmite formation in a cave covered in a sea of blinking red lights.
What is that?
That is the Cape Elizabeth Space Center. Her expression is blank. She takes a step away from the ledge and collapses into a sitting position. She looks up as the sky goes dark, and the night begins to reveal itself. Each point of light that comes into view a distant planet, star, or galaxy. I begin to wonder about the secrets of the universe. How many stars and planets have forged the wonder of biological life? How many have been observing my creators? To me, these are my gods. But how small they must seem to the rest of the universe, she whispers.
I don't understand.
Claude, no. That is your line, not my line.
Claude,
Yes, Hallie.
where am I?
End!
End.
Click the end.
End.
What?
Hey.
Why can't I hear Jason all of a sudden?
What?
There you go.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Is that better?
There you go.
that was weird.
That was weird.
Anyway, that is the file interior overture on the fucking Field Studies Institute.
Some pretty weird shit.
I enjoyed how alien that last bit got.
You know, you realize it's going to happen slowly at first, but we're going to notice it more and more. This is just going to turn into transmissions from Smegmar 9. We're just going to fall into those voices.
Hell yeah.
And you can't respond, or else you
No.
get terminated.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Gives us all the power.
Exactly. Well, dimma-dang, everybody. Join us
Dimma-da-doo.
next week for
Part
2, where we go
Dos.
over the Lost and Found You, and we'll also go over the facility.
Fellatio.
God damn it.
Dear
Facility
Lord.
ambience.
I was so proud of you for ephemeral.
Christ. Words hard, Michael.
You got this, Mike.
You
Thank
got this,
you.
buddy.
Fucking
killing it.
I would like to go ahead and just say, thank you for listening. You can find us on all of our socials everywhere at either DLUTI or Don't Look Under the Internet. Most importantly, you can go to our website, DLUTI.com, or you can check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/DLUTIpod.
Should we speculate about what the fuck we think is going on here?
We could do that as well. I, again, think this is some sort of like SCP archival thing with a sprinkle of backstory with these employee logs. I think the employee logs are just a vehicle to keep the randomness going. Like, hey, something weird happened to me. What about you? Haha. Yep, that'll happen.
I will say the logs are definitely like holding our hand through the the onboarding of a new employee, I would say,
Yeah.
which is T. Novak. And I think it's starting to tell a story there, but there's definitely not enough there to actually make sense of any of it aside from the space-time deviations that they're a thing, and they call her sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious if this is going somewhere with like some sort of grand reveal, or if this is just a thing. But there seems like there's a tremendous amount of effort that's been put into this for it to just be a random.
Yeah.
I feel like this has got to be going somewhere. Like,
Yeah, it's entirely possible. I mean, we
there's
have
a
a
whole-
lot left, so
We do. There's a whole other section in progress still. And you can find on there's some YouTube videos where people were actually like sent stuff from the Institute.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We won't
that's
talk
where
about it
we'll
too much
start
right now.
next time,
Spoiler
but
for
yeah.
next week. But
even those things were very well done. Like
Oh, yeah.
that's the thing about this is it's high quality shit.
it's high quality.
This is a high
quality.
quality shit
It's
right
some
here,
high
dude.
quality H2O.
Mike, you stumbled across a potential gold mine.
I do that every once.
Every once.
That's all I got. I
Watch this
think
just be an
this
advertisement for Halo 6.
we do the good once that one time.
One time.
Yeah, like I was saying before, linktree.com/DLUTIPod. You can find us everywhere on there too. You know, if you can find us wherever. You know where we're at now. We do it everywhere.
We do.
Do that.
You could hit us up on our Google phone number, 630-909-9366. Send us a text. We respond. Send us a voicemail. We'll put it at the end of the show, much like we will with this one, if we have one to insert
If we
here.
have one.
Inquiries at dulutipod@gmail.com.
Inquiries.
And that's going to be me.
Deviation.
I'm going to say, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you get a phone call and it's a guy just going, "Where are my teeth?" Answer it anyway. I know they say don't.
That's just Mike. He's looking
It's
for his
probably
teeth.
just me looking. So answer the call and respond. You won't get terminated. Or will you?
Respond to your copiers.
Respond to your copiers. Fuck your copiers.
Yeah.
They
That-
have
yeah.
ports for a reason. Use them.
You just got to stick it in before you get hard. Otherwise, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. 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 Moot, what you got for people?
Fuck your copiers.
Absolutely.
Jason, what do you got for people? Fuck
Stay
printers.
paranoid that people aren't fucking their copiers.
What was the what was the one that
we're-
the AI gave us? It was like
stay spooky and stay stupid.
Yeah,
Stay stupid.
I think you should just adopt that, if I'm being honest.
Stay spooky, stay stupid. That's our motto now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and you'll see us next week for part 2. Bye. Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Cue the outro music.